All right, welcome to the show. This will be a channeled message for you, for your highest good, and I trust that it found you at the perfect time. These are timeless collective readings, and as always, I sincerely appreciate you being here with me in this present moment. It means the world, and I love you so, so much. I love you. I'm very excited. Let's get stuck into it. I see you guys showing up as the Nine of Swords upright and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you're getting very intimate and very familiar with the present moment and that experience of life that is really the essence of which is captured by just being in the present moment. And I see you practicing some element of stillness here with the High Priestess upright and the Strength in reverse in your feminine position, really developing that level of intuition, being in line with your higher self and receiving those guided insights from inside of you. And this may be testing you a little bit. Just the act of stillness may be testing. There could be a temptation still to force action and to really move forward and push forward. Or maybe some of these insights that you've been receiving from inside of yourself are what you need to hear, but they're not necessarily what you want to hear. But I do see you doing the work, and it's really beautiful. I love that for you guys. I think this anxiety that's coming up as the Nine of Swords upright, this could be anxiety about the past, but I really am picking up on this frequency of projecting into the future and being anxious about the future. The thing about projecting into the future using our thoughts is that it's never really going to be in line with our actual direct human experience, because when we project into the future using our thoughts, it's from the basis of our past experience, and we're using our past experiences to then project into the future. But what's been happening is there's an up leveling that's happening here. There's an upgrade. There's a spiritual upgrade and a light body activation that is occurring at this time. And there is a mass awakening that is happening inside of you and inside of the collective. So to project into the future is almost a bit of a fallacy, because where we're going is uncharted territory. We're expanding and we're moving into new stages of being and activating new levels of actually being in the present moment. So anything that you're going to project into the future is really not going to serve you, because it's not going to be your highest level of truth. And the highest level of truth will be found in the present moment. And there's an aspect here of timelessness and a concept of timelessness that we might be exploring a bit in this reading. Time being somewhat of an illusion, or even just a byproduct of our direct experience here on Earth. So I think that letting go of this projection into the future and trying to calculate where this is all going and how we're going to have to show up is not going to serve us here. And I think that really just practicing this present moment awareness, this level of awareness in the present moment, and continuing to receive these insights from our higher self and our inner being is going to really alleviate some of the pressure, and it's going to help us feel guided. And in doing that and in feeling that way, it's going to be much more bearable and blissful to just show up in the present moment and do the work. The term chop wood, carry water sort of comes to mind here. It's like you're being asked to chop wood and carry water, but not in the way that we have done in the past, not by forcing and pushing to get somewhere else. I really feel like there's an energy here of transmuting some kind of slave paradigm or slave trauma that we all carry within us. And I say that because it's very apparent in society that we are heavily programmed to operate under the slave paradigm. And it's like we're trained and taught that we are put here on earth to be slaves and to work really hard for a system that doesn't serve us. And it's almost like we're busting out of that mentally. We're busting out of that paradigm here. And I think that's why you're really being called to be in the present moment and do this work in a way that feels good, and not in a way that is anxious to get to that next step. And there's almost this anxiety to get to this completion point here. And there could be some level of outcome dependence that still exists for us, which is really contradictory to where we want to be in our energy. I think there's a craving for some movement towards the completion, or feeling like we've already gotten there. But Spirit really wants you to enjoy the journey and start to really feel good while you're doing this work. And your masculine energies potentially at this time are feeling a little bit discombobulated, because this is all new, and this way of doing things is a little bit new. We're so used to pushing and trying to bust out of the slave paradigm and get into a better place. But then where you go is where you are. So if you're in the energy of trying to bust out because your present situation is unbearable, you will continue to create situations that feel unbearable because of this aspect of timelessness, and time bends in on itself, right? And you're always just in the present moment. So your masculine energies are, I get the Five of Wands upright and the Queen of Wands in reverse. So straight away, I think that there could still be people around you that are trying to convince you that life is hard and life is not fun, and what are you doing? Get back to work. And I think there's a part of us that still is afraid of being perceived negatively by other people, with this don't let pride get in your way full moon and Leo card showing up as your subconscious fears. So other people's projections of us and their projections onto us, it's basically other people's concept of how the world should work is still being projected onto us, and it's still energetically affecting us in some way. So it's creating some level of conflict here. But like I said, there's an up-leveling that's happening and an activation that's happening. There's definitely a Starseed activation that's happening here. And we're just actually transmuting this energy. And I think that the masculine side of ourselves is coming more into the terms of, well, how much action should I be taking? Should force even really be required? And that's why I get this Queen of Wands in reverse on your masculine side as being almost coming to terms with the fact that you are royalty, and the fact that you are here on this earth means that abundance is your birthright. And it doesn't mean that we can sit on the couch all day and not create that abundance. But the creation of the abundance and being in the present moment and being at peace with the work can feel really good. It's like we've been in a paradigm for so long of, well, work is bad and we do things that we don't like. But I really see you guys being this creative being and stepping into this creative potential that you hold and starting to really do things that light you up and make you feel good. So I'm hearing Spirit is calling you to really act like that. Now that you're doing things that make you feel good, don't rush to get somewhere else, and don't rush to get to that completion point, because you actually are where you need to be. This present moment is exactly where you need to be. And I see you guys starting to really step into that creator role and do things that are fulfilling. So there's just like a repairing that's happening of your self-concept and how you see yourself, and really a call to really fully embody that feeling of royalty and really understand that while maybe we feel like this sometimes, we are actually this. Again, I'm going to say just you being here means that abundance is your birthright. You deserve to receive. You deserve to get paid what you're worth, and there should be an equal give and take here in your life. And I really think that it would serve you guys to embody that. Not worry too much about what the other people around you are thinking. If they don't want to move into this new earth paradigm, that's fine. And the Queen of Wands in reverse can also indicate that maybe you need to stop trying to show up and people please for the people that don't want to move into this new earth paradigm with you. Don't focus too much on making these people feel good. If somebody's trying to make you feel like this, in this conflict energy, don't go out of your way to make them feel warm and good. Just focus more on protecting your energy. I'm not saying be completely ice cold, even though some of you guys may have to do that. But yeah, don't focus on yourself. And I think there's an energy here of trying to keep that fire burning. And now that we're a creative being and we're coming more into a familiarity with how the present moment feels, there's now a question of, well, okay, I know there's a level of like pattern recognition here and bodily awareness that's showing up, in that I think that you guys are exploring more about what that spark is and how it feels to be inspired. And you're really noticing when you're inspired and when you want to take inspired action. And potentially you want more of this. It's like, okay, I do my best work and I'm motivated to do work when I feel good and when I feel inspired. So how can I almost maintain this fire? How can I keep this flame burning? So it's like now you're taking this kind of action where you're receiving these insights and practicing stillness and bodily awareness so that you can really maintain this fire and keep it burning. And it's just a process that's happening here. It's just a development that's happening here and an up leveling. And like I said, some kind of a starseed activation. And while you like reach these new heights and reach this new level and experience these awakening symptoms, there's definitely a call to stay grounded during this process, stay in the present moment, continue to chop wood and carry water and do the things that you know are good for you and keep showing up and doing the work because everything you're doing is paying off and the energy is gaining momentum, I'm seeing. Okay, interesting. I get the death in the past and the fool in the present moment. So I am psyched. I am pumped. Ace of Swords in the current position, 2 under the fool. Okay, this is pretty wild. I really like this, guys. So in the past, I get the star and the death card. So this really is mirroring what I'm saying about taking that inspired action, doing what feels good, and really wanting to let go of the things that don't make us feel good. Noticing when we're inspired, really noticing when we're motivated to do the work, and when we do our best work. And it's almost like, how can we get more of that? How can I squeeze more of this juice out of life that's going to sustain me, that's going to keep this fire burning? How can I keep this fire burning? And I think something that's really not going to help us here is this projection into the future. I think it's two things. I think A, it's this projection into the future and this anxiety about where it's going, which, like I said, that is just a projection of our past being put onto a future that doesn't exist. So this anxiety energy is a projection of our past being put onto a future that doesn't actually exist because all we have is the present moment here. So that's really not going to help us keep our fire burning. And I think other people's opinions of us, other people who don't want to move into this new earth paradigm, their opinion of us really is not going to help us keep this flame burning. So let's just try and let go of that. Let go of the anxiety. But I see you guys almost coming to terms with this. Really preparing yourself to let go and moving through the process of letting go of these other people. There's just things that are being worked out at this time. Just doing things that are more in alignment with you, make you feel good, feel more natural. And I did get this card here. It says the water carrier. I apologize if I'm moving a bit quick, but like I said, I'm super psyched. I'm really pumped about this reading, guys. I get the water carrier. What really matters. Reflect and reprioritize. And this card speaks a lot about reconnecting with the earth and that water energy, the water energy that holds that level of intelligence here with the water codes. You're really connecting with that inner voice, which is one of your ancestors too. And there's so much knowledge and wisdom that your guides and your ancestors have for you. And you've been in that, like, and this is why I love doing these readings for this collective, because I've been talking about being in Planet Fitness for faith, and then I show up and you guys are in, like, you've literally bought the membership for Planet Fitness for faith and you're in there doing the reps, which is so good. And this information that you're receiving is generations and eons of years of information that you have access to inside of you through the intelligence of water and the conscious awareness that water holds. You have access to all of that. And now just by doing things that feel good and getting that rest and really sustaining that level of peace here and letting go with the death card and really just moving through this and letting life take you where it needs to take you, knowing that you are in alignment and there is an element of divine timing here and timelessness. Being in the present moment is the gift. And you're actually always where you need to be at all times. It's like you're coming into the realization of that. And there's an element of truth and like establishing your own truth and feeling this level of clarity, or at least being able to reach out and grab a level of clarity that you've never had before. I'm just getting like making up your own mind. Making up your own mind here that you're ready to move forward into this new life, into this new earth paradigm, like I said, that is completely unexplored, that we don't know anything about. We can't see where we're going necessarily, but we feel like we have the tools. We've developed that level of truth to at least take us forward and like allow us to move forward in a safe way. But through this process, the anxiety then sometimes shows up, because I think then with a lot of this external stimulus and some of this external conflict energy, which is a reflection of us still not fully being in alignment, that is when we start to doubt our royalty. We may start to doubt our connection to the divine because of some level of evidence that still exists in the 3D in the form of other people or situations. But we're moving through it. That's the whole point of this, is that we're moving through it. We've reached the truth, and you've actually set it all in motion, I'm hearing. I'm hearing that everything's been set into motion, and it's falling into place here because you've actually shown up as the Star and the Death card in the past. So you've embraced this level of transformation, and you're now on the journey. And you know that there's no going back. It's like there's no desire to go back here. What's happening now is that we're letting go of the things that don't serve us. We're not going back to this Queen of Wands in reverse energy. We're just flipping it upside down, because there's really a need to acknowledge our level of royalty, and you're deserving of abundance at this time. And I think that meditating and contemplating and really being in this high priestess energy and just continuing to practice that stillness and receive the insights, even if they're insights that are not in line with the old paradigm, even if these are insights that test you a little bit, still continuing to do this work. This is the key here. The work that you're doing on your feminine energy, this is the key. And now your masculine side is going to balance itself out, because it's going to be looking at your feminine energy going, all right, we do receive. We are royalty. I don't have to take all of this action. I am royalty. You know what I mean? I get paid what I'm worth. I feel good. Just me feeling good is enough here. Let's just take these and just flip them around. And it's like, well, just me feeling good is enough to dispel any level of conflict. And anybody that's trying to create conflict in my life, I'm hearing, is really going to expose themselves. It's like, I feel like by you just embodying this level of royalty, it's going to turn from petty drama into people actually showing their true colors here. And that's how you really know that they're not for you. So it's almost a gift here, just by you embodying that level of royalty. And I get the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords in reverse here. So, not the Queen of Swords in reverse, sorry. Queen of Swords upright. I get the Six of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Swords upright. So it's really interesting energy. And I think that's these boundaries with these people that you're setting. And it's like, you're creating balance in your life here, in your own energy. Because, like I said, we've been in this like slave paradigm, which is so out of balance with the natural human experience. The slave paradigm is so out of balance with the human experience, which is one of peace, inspired action, and healing. I do say a lot that the default state of the body is healing. Okay, the default state of the body is peace and bliss, right? And to be in this paradigm of having to work too hard on things that don't serve us is actually really out of balance. So there's an element here of really giving to yourself, filling up your own cup, looking after your health, getting paid what you're worth, like I'm saying, knowing that you're that royalty and only accepting what is good for you, what makes you feel good, and being stubborn about it. And it's like you're developing this level of logic here. It's like you've been going off of feeling this whole time, which is really good, because like I say, you've been in Planet Fitness for faith. So you've been working on this feeling and the guided intuitive insights, which is sometimes hard to define with words, and they don't feel logical. It's like you've been taking inspired action that doesn't necessarily feel logical and can be quite scary, because we're transmuting and letting go of a lot of energy here. So you guys have shown up and done this work. And the result of that is coming to the truth of the situation, feeling like you're ready to move forward in this brand new paradigm and having limitless potential because the Fool card is the 0, and he has limitless potential. Zero is everything, because 0 can fold itself into anything, and the timelessness is connected here, because where you are in the present moment is going to take you into the future present moment, which is all just the same thing. And it will like fold into itself. And the future doesn't even exist. The future is just where you are now. It's just a continuation of where you are now. So you're developing limitless potential here. I hope I'm making sense there. Developing a lot of clarity and truth around that. And what happens then is life starts to make sense a little bit. You feel like there's give and take, and you feel like you can share with other people, because I see you guys building a level of stability, like mental stability that's being reflected in your physical situation when it comes to your energy, your health, and your finances. But I think that things start to make sense a bit here. Things start to make a bit of logical sense. You feel like you feel like you're safe to put up this boundary here in the future, because all of this inspired action and this transmutation of old energies has started to become like a bit of a routine. And there's a level of, like I said before, there's pattern recognition that's happening here. You're getting enough evidence and you're giving momentum to that energy instead of giving momentum to this, because whichever beast you feed, that's the one that will grow. So if you continue to give momentum to this energy and feed this, it will create more of this in the present moment, right? But since you're choosing to feed this, okay, and since you're choosing to feed this with the High Priestess, that's growing, and that's why I get the energy is gaining momentum. So don't worry too much about the outcome, being outcome dependent and being worried about movement, because the movement is happening and you are making a lot of progress just by feeding these energies. And like I said, it starts to create evidence in your 3D world and things start to make sense. And you feel very stable on your throne because there is now logic that is supporting this inspired action. And it's creating a feedback loop and some level of momentum here, which is really good. I'm so pumped. I can't even... This is really good. And I think that this is all this level of activation. And these cards do talk about... They talk about you coming more in line with your light body, almost coming online. This recognition that you are a starseed, you are royalty. Okay, you deserve abundance. It's your birthright here. Because with this abundance, you can create a new world. And really create this new earth paradigm that we're all ready to move into as a collective, right? So you're here to create this new earth paradigm. And if you can stay grounded in this and continue to show up and do the work exactly like you've been doing, and continue to chop wood, carry water, and go to the spiritual gym, there is an activation that is happening that may literally be occurring right now during this reading, as your head's just going, blah, and like all the information's starting to come together and make sense in this present moment. Continue to stay grounded in this and ground this into reality. Okay, I think that's what these cards here are, the grounding of this information into our present day reality and making sense of it. And then from there, like I said, there's this feedback loop of inspired action that is then going to happen. There's going to be this flame. You're going to be so inspired to continue to create art, to go where you need to go, to work on these projects. And like I say art, but if you play chess, there's an art to that. If you're an engineer, there's an art to that, because there's an element of creativity and no one's going to do it exactly like you do. If you're an engineer, you're an artist. If you're a mathematician, you're an artist. If you're a visual artist, you're an artist. You know what I mean? Like there's an art to everything that we do here. So don't think that if I am talking about art, it doesn't apply to you, because you're a creative being. You're here to create new and improved ways of doing things, no matter what your field of work is. It's a bit of a tangent there. But as you really step into that, take the inspired action, create this feedback loop of passionate action, what's going to happen is you're going to be called to do certain things and almost go to certain places. And I'm kind of seeing travel on the books for some of you guys, like really just being inspired to go somewhere. Go somewhere that doesn't make sense. I really feel like some of you guys are going to be inspired to end up in places where you weren't expecting, or you are just going to travel somewhere that didn't make sense when we were in this projection energy. When we were projecting into the future, well, why would we go there? Why would we go to Tanzania? You know, why would we go to Argentina or Costa Rica? Like, not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not in line with the old paradigm. Like, when we project the past onto the future, we can't activate, we can't open up and take this inspired action and be guided to where we need to go. But you guys are literally starseeds that are ushering this new earth paradigm. You're ushering in this new earth paradigm. And I'm telling you, some of you guys are going to get called to go places that make no sense, but there's going to be some level of inspired action here, and you're going to end up somewhere that you were not expecting. So it's pretty amazing. I think that there's some really, really clear messages here. I don't know how much more needs to be said. Maybe pull some fun cards and then we'll kick it. I think this here is this level of stability. I think that through letting go, like this process of this death card that you've been going through and this inspired action, there is an element of energy removal here that is happening. And I'm like seeing the blue here. So I think that using your voice and by stepping into this Queen of Wands energy and really knowing that you are royalty, that masculine side of you really embodying that energy of royalty and knowing that you deserve abundance and like using your voice to get you there is going to create this grounded momentum. Because I get this Graveler card and he's like this big rock, right? And he can like wrap himself up and like just roll down the hill and just like I was talking before, like there's this snowball. It's like you're developing this snowball momentum of this rocky material grounded energy that's happening here, which you'll be able to share, you'll be able to make sense of and share. And look at this Meowth card. I love it when this card comes out because you guys are literally just going to be sitting on the bag. I think that just by embodying this royalty energy, continue what you're doing, continue following these divinely guided insights and these intuitive insights that are coming from within you and following your intuition, really step into that royalty mode and that mode of knowing that you get what you deserve, knowing that you deserve abundance. And look what happens, eh? I love this card. You guys are literally going to be sitting on the bag, and the cat is so intuitive. The cat has that intuitive sense. And the thing about the cat is that it's not really in a rush to get to this completion point. It's a really balanced masculine and feminine energy. It's a predator at night, and it can sit in stillness and wait. I'm just getting like crazy bodily sensations in my head as I'm saying this. So I feel like this is really landing for some of you. It can lie in wait and just attract what it needs and pounce at the right moment, at the perfect moment. So I think that doing exactly what you're doing here and just embracing this new paradigm of life and this new way of doing things, embracing this whole new way of doing things and cultivating that fire and keeping it burning by taking the inspired action, getting the rest, knowing that you deserve greatness and you are royalty, is going to lead to some really good results here. It's going to lead to some really good results here. So I might just leave it there. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate all the work you're doing. And thank you, I guess. There's not much more to be said. This message was really clear, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you guys for supporting me in the comments too, and I appreciate. The thing is about, for me lately, I haven't been able to get to as many comments as I would like because I've been dealing with some like kind of health stuff and just trying to look after myself a little bit. But the way you guys make me laugh in the comments, like for real, like some of you guys seriously have me like cracking up, eh? And some of you guys really make me think. Like, you're really, like, getting me pondering on some really deep concepts because you're the ones who are doing all of this work. And we're all together as a collective growing and, like, expanding our level of consciousness and going on these deeper levels. And then you guys are providing me with your feedback and, like, blowing my mind. And then that reflects in the next readings. Like I was saying before, I love doing these readings for you guys because I talk about stuff. And then the next day, we're just doing it. You know what I mean? We're just, okay, yep, that's what we got to do. We're doing it. There's always healthy growth here and really inspired healthy growth. So I love it. I love doing these readings for you guys. Hey, it makes me so happy. So I'm feeling pretty good now. So I'll probably see you guys in the comments. Maybe we can chop it up a bit there, and just, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I'm so excited and I'm so pumped about this reading, guys. So you are royalty. Keep doing what you're doing, and you deserve everything that you're getting. Everything that you're attracting to you, attracting this bag, you totally deserve it, guys. And there's a full-on New Earth paradigm that is starting to materialize here right in front of our eyes. So I love it. Thank you for doing the work. I love you so much and I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this space with me. And I absolutely cannot wait to do it all again in the next one. So I'll see you then.